right, and we are back. And so let's jump right into this new segment called Pixel This. And we're going to start off with some exciting announcement with a segment that I like to call, Did You Hear About the New Gear? Yep, there's some new gear announced today. Sony announced a brand new lens, the Sony 16 to 35 f4G lens. Some amazing factors about this lens is that it's the world's lightest wide-angle lens with a consistent 4.0 aperture and a power zoom right inside the lens. Okay, so it's great for vloggers. Couple other things about this lens that you'll see on a lot of Sony's great lenses is that it has the aperture ring, the clickable aperture ring, so you can click it on the outside of the lens. You can turn it off and on so it slides smoothly for video. It has the autofocus, manual focus button, so you can flip that on and off on the fly, as well as an iris lock, so you can actually lock those settings down so nothing changes while you're doing it. And then an electronic zoom. So the electronic zoom is great in that you can zoom the lens, and especially with certain Sony cameras, you can even adjust the speed of that zoom, but you can do it manually with your finger on the outside of the lens if you choose, which is great. And then the other thing, so the price, $1,200, and the ship date is sometime in May. Now, I'm not going to get into a lot of the specs. If you want to see more about this lens, go over to Alpha Universe, and not only will you see more specs about the lens, you'll see videos and people that have used it already, but it just came out today. All right, so moving on. This is something that I call, I wish I took that. So do you guys ever look around the web and you're looking at images and trying to get inspired and seeing what everybody else is doing, and I use that for inspiration. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish I took that. Well, that's where this segment came from. So today's segment is a street photographer, and this is a photographer that I found on 500 Pixels. If you've never been to 500 Pixels, it's a great place to see some really amazing imagery. This is a Chinese photographer, and everything was in Chinese, so I can't even pronounce and or tell you his name. But if you want to see more, see if you can find this image, an editor's choice on 500 Pixels. But I really love the image in that, I love it in that he sees this little girl walking by this beautiful wall of rainbow or striped colors, and her little red dress really helps her stand out and make a difference in this image. So anyway, I saw this image myself and I was like, wow, that's such a cool image. Like, I wish I took that. So that's where the inspiration of this comes from. And so moving along, here's another segment, speaking of Alpha Universe, called Be Alpha. And I want to draw your attention to Alpha Universe, not only to see new gear and equipment, but also to find inspiring photography and stories just like 500 Pixels. Very much Sony related, of course, at Alpha Universe. And this photographer's name that I'm talking about, his name is Magnus Windbjork, and hopefully I said that correctly. And Magnus has some really, really beautiful winter landscapes and wildlife. This was on Alpha Universe, I would say 2-3 weeks ago. You can always go back and look it up and find this. The other thing that you can find on Alpha Universe are other Sony artisans, just like myself. So this artisan her name is Jean Fruth. She is a sports photographer and a pretty amazing one at that. And Jean shoots baseball. That's not the only thing that she shoots, but she loves baseball. She has a new book out called Grassroots Baseball, I believe. And it's all about like baseball being played and born in, little communities around the United States and other places. She also does a lot of features where she's been to the Dominican and Cuba, and she really features how baseball is popular there. I really like her work, and you can check that out on Alpha Universe under influencers, and you can see all the other artisans besides Jean, but definitely go check out Jean's work. The next segment I call Photo Tip of the Week. And so we're gonna have photo tips, and I'm gonna share these with you. So my tip here is not a technical tip, it's just a common sense tip that I call keep your media cards on you, on your person when you're going back to the car. So as a wedding photographer, I do this a lot. At the end of the night, I take my cards out of my camera and I put them in my card case, just like this one here. And then I put them in my suit pocket or on my person so that if someone were to take my cameras on the way out the door, they're not taking my client's card. So definitely important for a wedding, but anything that you shoot, of course, you know, you can make it a habit, just take the cards out of your camera, put them away. That way you don't shoot over them in the future, should you forget to take them out or anything else. But it's a really good tip just to keep the cards on your person after you're done shooting. All right, well, thank you very much for this quick little segment. I hope you liked it, and we're going to do a lot more of these. I want you to share your ideas with us, so you can do that in the comments. You can like and subscribe, of course, like every YouTuber asks you to do. But the one thing that I want to leave you with is a couple things in my own personal philosophy in life and in photography. One is all that matters is what you do from this moment on. It's so true. No matter what you're doing, no matter what happened, you can't change the past. So all that matters is what you do and how you deal with it from this moment on. And as far as your photography goes, you know, grab your camera, pick it up, go out and take pictures. If you want to get better, the best way is to take photos. And I've always lived by the philosophy of shooting for myself, shooting from the heart, and never giving up. You know, sometimes photography can be frustrating and we're not getting the results that we want, but if we give up, we're never going to get there. And shooting for yourself is a really, really valuable tool. Yes, you need to shoot what your clients want or what you think they want, but then I think it's important to listen to that little voice inside you and shoot for yourself. Okay. I'm going to leave you with one more little quote, and that is, if you keep on doing what you're doing, you're going to keep on getting what you get. Now, that could be a good thing. If you're doing something successful, keep doing it. But if you're not getting where you want, then maybe you need to change up the way you're doing it. Please like and subscribe. We always appreciate new viewers telling us about it. Join our social media. Of course, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Those are all right there on the screen. And I appreciate you hanging out with us today. And thank you for watching Pixel This. I'm your host, Robert Evans. Have a great day.